Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about seed retention. They will envy you. The number one reason why I guess you can say that people start to maybe even envy you when you go on seed retention is because it finally gives you courage. You have courage and they don't have courage. That's the bottom line. Because, courage is something that you have to build up over time. Not everyone comes out just being the most courageous, confident, brilliant person in the world. It's something that happens over time. And you just become someone who finally has courage, who's actually just willing to start, is just willing to start. That's the number one thing. They're willing to go they're willing to go through the dirt and the mud to eventually get what they want. But the mass majority of men do not have any courage. They sleep around. They miss appointments. They're living lives of quiet desperation. Whatever they pay attention to it's not where it's not where it needs to be. They don't have any purpose. They're walking aimlessly through this reality. And if you walk aimlessly through this reality, you're literally killing yourself in reality. You're literally living a slow death. You're literally living a slow death. So you will start building up some courage in order to do things. And like I said, if you keep doing this, if you retain and then you just continue to build up courage, eventually you're gonna look back at your life and you're gonna be like, oh wow, look what I have done. So also you're known as an innovator. Because of your seminal retention, you're getting blessed by ideas. The mass majority of men just run out of ideas, or they're not onto something new. They can't dedicate maybe an hour, 30 minutes to an hour to look back and think about every single thing that they kind of do that they need to do to kind of initiate properly, to go with things properly. You're an innovator. You start thinking outside of the box. You start really looking back, and then you might start coming to conclusions on the specific things that you have to do, the things that you need to do to really effectively live your life. But a lot of people just can't do this. They're slaves to the law of hypnotic rhythm. And what is hypnotic rhythm? Hypnotic rhythm is to a point where you get where your habits are to the point where whatever you do consistently, you subconsciously don't even have, you consciously just don't even have to think about it. Your subconscious is taking over, and you can either help your life with good habits with hypnotic rhythm, or you can pretty much destroy your life with bad habits. The mass majority of people just don't have as good habits as they can to really live your life to the fullest. So they will really start to envy you. They will start realizing if it's not envy, they will question you. They realize what is this man doing differently, and how is he getting all these results, and how are people gravitating towards this person? What is he doing different than everybody else? Because he might look the same he might look like just your normal average being, but the one thing is, it's just about your energetic aura. It's about your enthusiasm. It's about how much you can really create yourself, how much you can create something out of nothing. Because when you go on seed retention, you're finally creating your reality. You have enough energy to really put some thought into the things that you're doing to really create your reality. Because you can live, you can get by, you can make a living, but how are you really creating something? You're creating your reality when you decide to retain. Because like I said, you step back and you start thinking. The most dangerous thing that you can do as a man is be effective in how you think. You have to think like a successful person. The number one thing is how do successful people think? And you can literally become this type of person when you decide to retain and you feed yourself with the good with things that you kind of need to really, like I said, amplify your life. Also, like, I mean, if you meditate and you're, like I said, if you're on retention plus meditation, you're literally getting insight literally all around you. You're getting, because you're increasing your awareness. You're literally getting insight because, like I said, you're in a higher vibration, in a higher energetic state. So now you're getting, you can call it signs. You're getting signs from the infinite, the source, and it's basically helping you in the things that you need to do for your life. You're literally getting information granted to you just because you're living in a high vibration. This is the blessings that you get when you decide to live in a higher vibration. But if you're consistently busting, you're consistently relapsing every single day, you're just not going to be aware because you have brain fog, and then you're not going to be effective, and then you're going to complain, and then you're going to keep complaining, and then you still complain, but you're doing the same thing, but you're expecting something to just happen for you. But you never change your habits. You never looked at yourself. You're always the victim. I mean, if you want to live your life like this, you can. If you want to put the V-Box on a pedestal, you can. But what is that going to do for the results you have in your life? Because you have to realize, like, the more, like I said, the more effective that you become in your life, the more, and you're going about your purpose, the less the initiative, the beginning of, let's say, if you're trying to attract, if you're talking about attraction, the less you really have to say for yourself, because I mean, you pretty much are that person. Now you're just saying everything in a banter type of way, because you don't really have to explain yourself as much, because you're becoming mysterious. You're becoming someone who is interesting enough to be found out, because you're finally becoming the catch. It's finally you're dictating who gets to be placed in, because you finally have that enough power, enough courage to be able to pick and choose instead of just settling for anything that you get. And this is the bottom line. They will start to envy you because of the way you carry yourself. They will finally start to envy you just because of how you speak to people, what you pay attention to, what your priorities are, what you really have set out for yourself. And this is not some inspiration type of talk. This is real life. We are speaking things into existence. We are creating every single day by what we pay attention to, and what, like I said, what we give our energy to. Like, I mean, so I mean, they might start to envy you. They might start to realize, like, who is this person? How is he getting all of these results? He's always getting the best from other people, but I'm never getting the best from, maybe if it's women, maybe if it's business. And it's because of you pretty much are treated based on how you treat yourself. And this is the bottom line. Like, see, retention is a form of self-love, because if you have enough self-love to delay your gratification for a bigger prize in the end, then you're going to be a lot more happy and fulfilled in the end, because you're not always giving your energy to the anything that you can get. This is the bottom line. This is how you become somebody in this reality. So yes, you're an innovator. You can think on your feet. You can think on your feet. Anything, someone throws something at you, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a curveball, you can think really on your feet. You can critically think. You're literally walking in alignment with yourself. You're living in alignment with the utopia that you have set out for yourself. So you do everything to make your reality as it is presented in your mind. You start realizing anything really can change, because a lot of people just don't think things can change. They give up too quickly. They become just way too saddened way too quickly. They don't have any hope for the future. They think every single thing that happens is that. They literally have no faith, no persistence. And I mean, these are qualities of someone who is just going to be known as a drifter, because if you literally give up the moment something doesn't work out, then what really does that say about yourself? Says that you don't have any persistence, you don't have any faith, you don't have any belief in anything that you do, and these will show in your results. So I mean, like I said, they will envy you. You will start becoming the talk of the town if that's what you want. But what really is happening is just you're becoming your truest version, your biggest, your highest version, and so I mean, people might start realizing that, like, what is he on? How is he always acting like this? Like, what type of things are you doing? People they ask, are you on something if you looks like if you're really physically built? And then they just don't realize that maybe there are people out there who put persistent work in something that they want to manifest. Nothing is always just instantly gratified. That's the problem. If you're on state retention, you're practicing the art of delayed gratification. You will get rewarded if you believe you deserve certain things. But I mean, you're just not willing to go through the storm to get what you want. You're willing to settle. You're a see it to believe it person instead of believe it to see it. You don't have any persistence. That's the number one thing, is persistence. They envy you because you have persistence. Like, if you have persistence, you're literally in the top 5%, because a lot of people just don't have persistence. Anytime it doesn't work, they give up. They settle. Let's do for an example. So I mean, we have, if you watch NFL, we have the Super Bowl champs, who are the LA Rams, and then we have the home team, which is, let's compare two teams, the LA Rams and then the Washington Commanders. Now, in the offseason, the Washington Commanders had the chance to get a free agent quarterback named Matthew Stafford, but it didn't work out, and the other team got him. And then that other team who got Matthew Stafford won the Super Bowl. But the team that settled for the lesser quarterback, the quarterback that they drafted, which was Ryan Fitzpatrick, he got injured in the first game. So this is just some examples of people who live in two different realities. This is just an example of people who settle. They just don't get the better things. You're either getting a Super Bowl ring or you're missing the playoffs for the 5th year in a row. And this just goes in direct alignment with the things that you believe that you deserve. The team that thinks that they deserve the better quarterback eventually got their quarterback. The team that settled for the quarterback got a lesser result. So it just comes down to what you think you deserve and how willing you are to work for it, if that makes sense. So they will start to envy you. You might become the talk of the town. And the funny thing is, this isn't something that you really want. This is just a byproduct of the person you are becoming and how you just carry yourself in situations. You have information from the source. You're becoming your all-knowing self. You're becoming your highest version of yourself. You're walking in direct alignment with who you truly are. So, so make sure, like I said before, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. If there's any type of questions that you have when it comes to maybe seed retention, manifestation, anything like that, leave a question down below, and I will make sure to over deliver in what I say. Like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you in the next one.